Michael Jackson was a man full of secrets. He protected his children with everything he had, especially the identity of their biological mothers. For years, the world has wondered. For years, the Jackson family stayed silent. But now, one woman has come forward with a claim so explosive it could shake the entire Jackson legacy. Her name is Kimberly Ta'mar. She says she is the real biological mother of Bigi Jackson, Michael's youngest son, the boy the world once knew as Blanket. She claims she carried him for 9 months. She claims she gave birth to him. And she claims Michael Jackson hid her existence from the entire world for over 20 years. This isn't just another rumor. This is a woman stepping into the light after decades of silence, saying she was erased from her own child's life. Today on Black Legend, we're going deep into the shocking allegations, the private family drama, the tears, the denials, and the questions that still haunt the Jackson family to this day. This story is darker, more painful, and more mysterious than you ever imagined. Chapter 1. Bigi Jackson, the most private Jackson child. On February 21, 2002, in a quiet, heavily guarded hospital in California, a baby boy entered the world. His name would eventually become known to the public as Prince Michael Jackson II. But the world would first call him Blanket. From the very moment he took his first breath, this child was different. While his older siblings, Paris and Prince, had already been thrust into the spotlight, little Blanket, later known as Bigi, was born into an almost impenetrable veil of secrecy. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, had once again done what he did best, protected his child with every ounce of power and privacy he could muster. According to multiple credible reports and court documents from the time, Bigi was born through gestational surrogacy. A surrogate mother carried the pregnancy, but Michael Jackson was listed as the sole parent on the birth certificate. The identity of the biological mother was never publicly revealed, and Michael made it crystal clear that he intended to keep it that way. This wasn't just a personal choice, it was a deliberate shield. Michael had seen how fame had nearly destroyed his own childhood. He had watched the relentless media circus surrounding his older children. With Blanket, he was determined to do things differently. He wanted this baby to have something resembling a normal life, or at least as normal as life could be inside the Jackson family. For the first few years of his life, Blanket was rarely seen. Michael kept him wrapped in blankets, literally, during public appearances, famously holding the infant over a hotel balcony in Germany in 2002, an incident that sparked worldwide controversy, but also highlighted just how fiercely protective Michael was. Behind closed doors at Neverland Ranch, Michael raised his youngest son with tenderness and isolation. He homeschooled him. He limited outside contact. He created a bubble where music, animals, and imagination were the only constants. As the years passed and Michael tragically passed away in 2009, Bigi's life changed dramatically, yet he remained the most private of the 3 siblings. While Paris and Prince stepped into the public eye through modeling, music, and activism, Bigi chose silence. He rarely granted interviews. He avoided social media drama. He lived under the protective wing of his grandmother, Katherine Jackson, and the rest of the family, quietly growing into a young man who preferred books, sports, and a low-key existence far away from the flashing cameras. Those closest to the family describe Bigi as thoughtful, intelligent, and deeply introspective. He carries his father's gentle spirit, but also the weight of being Michael Jackson's son, a title that brings both immense privilege and crushing expectation. Unlike his siblings who have spoken openly about their struggles with fame, mental health, and identity, Bigi has remained largely silent, letting his actions and privacy speak for themselves. This extreme privacy wasn't accidental. Michael Jackson had learned painful lessons from his own life under the spotlight. He once said in interviews that he wanted his children to experience the childhood he never had, free from constant judgment, free from tabloid headlines, free from the world trying to own every piece of them. With Bigi, he came the closest to achieving that dream. Even after Michael's death, the family continued to honor that wish. Bigi was shielded from much of the estate battles, the public feuds, and the endless speculation. He changed his name from Blanket to Bigi in 2015, a quiet act of self-redefinition that many saw as his way of stepping out from under the shadow of that childhood nickname while still honoring his roots. Today, Bigi Jackson is a young man in his early 20s. He stands tall, with a calm presence that reminds many of his father's quieter moments. He has interests in technology, sports, and creative pursuits. But he continues to guard his personal life with the same fierce protection his father once provided. Yet beneath this carefully constructed privacy lies one of the greatest unanswered questions in the Jackson saga. Who is Bigi's biological mother? Michael took that secret to his grave. And for over 2 decades, the world has wondered. Until now, because one woman has finally stepped forward with a claim so bold, so personal, and so potentially explosive that it threatens to unravel everything the family has tried so hard to keep hidden. Her name is Kimberly Ta'mar, and what she says next may change how we see Bigi Jackson forever. Chapter 2, Kimberly Ta'mar and the most shocking claims yet. Who is Kimberly Ta'mar? Kimberly Ta'mar is a woman who carries herself with a quiet confidence that immediately draws attention. She has a warm, expressive face with soft features, high cheekbones, and full lips that often curve into a gentle, knowing smile when she speaks. Her skin is smooth with a warm, light brown tone, and she typically wears her dark hair in elegant flowing waves that fall just past her shoulders. Many who have seen her in interviews note her striking eyes, deep, soulful, and often glistening with emotion as she tells her story. In terms of style, she favors simple but feminine clothing, flowing blouses, fitted jeans, or elegant dresses in soft colors like cream, blush, and earth tones. She wears minimal jewelry, usually small gold hoops or a delicate necklace, giving her an approachable, understated elegance rather than flashy celebrity glamour. Her everyday appearance suggests a woman who has lived a real, grounded life. She is of average height with a curvy, womanly figure that she carries with natural grace. When she appears on camera, she often looks polished, but not overly made up, with subtle makeup that highlights her eyes and lips. There is a quiet dignity in the way she holds herself, even when tears fill her eyes during emotional moments. Despite stepping into the spotlight with her claims, she still projects the image of someone who once lived far from fame, a woman who worked behind the scenes in entertainment, moved through regular neighborhoods, and maintained a low profile for many years. Her look is that of a real person with a real story, not a polished celebrity. It is this combination of beauty, vulnerability, and quiet strength that makes her presence so compelling when she speaks about her alleged connection to Michael Jackson and her claimed son, Bigi. Her story begins to unfold publicly around the mid-2000s, but it wasn't until recent years that she began making bolder, more emotional claims. In a series of interviews, social media posts, and independent documentaries, Kimberly Ta'mar stepped forward with a revelation that sent shockwaves through the Michael Jackson fan community. She claims she is the biological mother of Bigi Jackson. According to Kimberly Ta'mar's own emotional accounts, everything began through quiet mutual connections in the music industry. She says she was introduced to Michael Jackson at a time when the king of pop was privately yearning to grow his family once again. Their first meeting, she claims, was arranged with the utmost secrecy in a private, secluded location away from the ever-watchful eyes of the media. She describes walking into the room and seeing Michael, not the larger-than-life superstar the world knew, but a soft-spoken, thoughtful man carrying the heavy weight of fame on his shoulders. He spoke gently but directly about his desire to have another child. He wanted someone he could trust completely, someone who understood the private world he lived in. Ta'mar says she felt an instant connection. What started as a conversation about surrogacy quickly evolved into something far deeper and more personal. In her telling, their relationship blossomed in secret. Late-night phone calls stretched for hours. Michael would open up about his fears, the fear of raising children in the spotlight, the pain of his own childhood, and his burning wish to give this new baby a life filled with love and protection. Ta'mar claims they developed real feelings for each other. She says it was no longer just a medical arrangement. It became intimate, emotional, and meaningful. She agreed to become the biological mother, carrying Michael's child not out of obligation, but out of a genuine bond they had formed. For 9 long months, she says she carried Bigi with a mixture of joy and quiet anxiety. She felt every kick, every movement, every flutter. She describes talking to her belly at night, singing soft lullabies, and imagining the day she would finally hold her son. Michael, according to her, was deeply involved, calling constantly, sending thoughtful messages, and expressing his overwhelming excitement about becoming a father again. The most dramatic chapter came on February 21, 2002. Ta'mar claims she was present in a private hospital setting, surrounded by medical staff under strict confidentiality agreements. She says she went through labor and gave birth to a healthy baby boy. In one of her most tearful retellings, she describes the moment she first held her newborn son in her arms. "He was so small, so perfect," she has said, her voice breaking. Michael was there, tears in his eyes, smiling with pure joy as he looked at our son. For those brief moments, she claims it felt like a family. But then, she alleges, everything changed in an instant. Once the birth was complete, Michael's team reportedly stepped in. Ta'mar says she was gently but firmly asked to step back. Legal documents were presented. Significant payments were made. She claims she was told that for the child's safety and privacy, her identity had to remain completely hidden. In her emotional interviews, she breaks down remembering that day. "I gave birth to my son, and then I was erased. They took him away from me." She says the decision felt like her entire world was being dismantled in a single afternoon. In the years that followed, Ta'mar says she honored the silence out of fear and love. She watched from a distance as Bigi grew up under the Jackson name. She saved every memento she could: ultrasound pictures, handwritten notes from Michael, small gifts from that period. She describes late nights crying alone, wondering if her son would ever know the truth about where he came from. Her decision to finally come forward after more than 20 years, she explains, was driven by a mother's unbreakable instinct. As Bigi grew into a young man and began showing signs of curiosity about his identity, Ta'mar says she could no longer stay quiet. "Every child deserves to know where they come from," she has said passionately in interviews. "Bigi deserves to know his real mother." Whether her story is one of genuine heartbreak or something more calculated, Kimberly Ta'mar's detailed, emotional narrative has forced the world to look again at one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in Michael Jackson's life: the true story behind the birth of his youngest son. The drama escalates when she directly accuses the Jackson family of a massive cover-up. She alleges that Katherine Jackson and other family members knew about her existence, but chose to keep the secret to protect the Jackson image and estate. She paints a picture of a powerful family machine that erased her identity the moment Bigi was born, paying her off and forcing her into the shadows. Public reaction has been intensely divided. Many longtime Michael Jackson fans immediately dismissed her claims as opportunistic or fabricated, pointing out that Michael was extremely private and protective, exactly the kind of man who would use surrogacy to maintain full control. Others, however, were moved by her tears and the raw emotion in her voice. Social media exploded with debates. Is she telling the truth? Could Michael really have hidden a mother for 20+ years? Kimberly Ta'mar's story is filled with pain, anger, and a mother's longing. Whether her claims are true or not, she has forced the world to look again at one of the greatest mysteries surrounding Michael Jackson's children. And as Bigi Jackson continues to live his quiet life, one question hangs over everything. Does he know about Kimberly Ta'mar? Has he ever heard her story? And if he has, what does he believe? The answers may be more complicated and more painful than anyone imagined. Chapter 3. The Jackson Family's Wall of Silence. When Kimberly Ta'mar's claims first surfaced, the Jackson family did what they have done for decades. They closed ranks. Catherine Jackson, the matriarch who has outlived her famous son and weathered countless storms, has remained largely silent on the specific allegations about Bigi's biological mother. However, sources close to the family say that as far back as 2010 to 2013, Catherine was already aware of rumors involving women claiming to be connected to Michael's youngest child. In private conversations reportedly shared by people close to the family, Catherine allegedly dismissed such claims as money grabs from individuals seeking fame or financial gain. She has repeatedly emphasized that Michael made his wishes crystal clear before he passed away in 2009. The children's privacy and the family's unity came first. The rest of the Jackson siblings have followed a similar pattern of denial or complete avoidance. Jermaine, Tito, and other brothers have occasionally spoken about protecting Michael's legacy, but none have directly addressed Kimberly Ta'mar by name. Their collective stance seems to be that Michael was the only parent, and any outside claims are irrelevant or fabricated. Now what about Bigi, Paris, and Prince, Michael's 3 children? Bigi Jackson, now in his early 20s, has maintained the strictest silence of all. He has never publicly commented on Kimberly Ta'mar or any claims about his biological mother. Those who know him describe a young man who prefers to stay out of the spotlight and focus on his personal growth. Whether Bigi has ever been told about Ta'mar's allegations or has privately investigated them remains one of the biggest unanswered questions. The shocking possibility lingers. Does Bigi even know the full story of his own origins? Or has the family continued Michael's tradition of shielding him from painful truths? Paris Jackson, the most outspoken of the siblings, has spoken many times about her complicated relationship with fame and her father's legacy. While she has addressed mental health, identity, and family trauma, she has not directly responded to Ta'mar's specific claims. Some fans speculate that Paris chooses silence to protect her younger brother Bigi from further emotional turmoil. Prince Jackson has taken a more public role in managing the estate and speaking about his father's vision, but he too has avoided commenting on the biological mother rumors. The siblings appear united in their desire to honor Michael's original plan, raising the children as a family unit without outside interference. Why does the Jackson family consistently deny or ignore claims like Kimberly Ta'mar's? The reasons run deep. First, Michael Jackson was famously private about the surrogacy arrangements for all 3 children. Court documents and statements from his estate have consistently shown that he was listed as the sole parent. Introducing a biological mother years later would not only contradict Michael's explicit wishes, but could also open the door to legal challenges over inheritance and estate control. Second, the family has been burned before. Over the years, multiple women have come forward with similar "I am the mother" stories regarding Paris and Prince. Most of those claims were eventually dismissed or faded away without evidence. The Jacksons have learned to treat such allegations as potential money grabs or attempts at 15 minutes of fame. Catherine Jackson herself has reportedly said in private circles that these women just want money and attention. This pattern of denial has created a wall of silence that Ta'mar now finds herself facing. Her emotional interviews, tearful pleas, and calls for recognition as Bigi's mother have not broken through that wall. Instead, they have only intensified the divide between believers and skeptics. The most haunting question of all remains: does Bigi know the truth about his biological mother? At 23 years old, Bigi is no longer a child. He has grown up surrounded by the Jackson family's version of events. But as he becomes an adult with his own voice and curiosity, The possibility that he might one day seek answers or even meet Kimberly Ta'mar hangs over the family like a shadow. For now, the Jackson family continues its tradition of fierce protection. They honor Michael's memory by keeping his secrets intact. Whether that decision brings healing or creates more pain is a story still being written. And as Kimberly Ta'mar continues to speak out, the world watches to see if this wall of silence will finally crack or stand strong for another generation. Chapter 4. The motives, the doubts, and the uncomfortable truths. So what are we really looking at here? Is Kimberly Ta'mar, a grieving mother, finally speaking her truth after 20 years of silence? Or is this the latest chapter in a long line of opportunists drawn to the Jackson family fortune and fame? Let's examine the claims with clear eyes. Kimberly Ta'mar's story is emotionally compelling. She paints a picture of a woman who shared intimate moments with Michael Jackson, carried his child, gave birth, and was then allegedly paid off and erased from the narrative. She has cried on camera, shared what she calls personal mementos, and spoken with what many describe as raw maternal pain. Her timing, coming forward years after Michael's death and as Bigi reaches adulthood, adds another layer of intrigue. Why now? Is it genuine longing or something more calculated? Skeptics point to several red flags. First, there has never been any publicly verified DNA evidence presented by Ta'mar, despite her repeated claims. Michael Jackson's estate and the Jackson family have never acknowledged her in any legal capacity. In the world of high-profile surrogacy cases, especially one involving someone as private as Michael, the lack of concrete documentation after 2 decades raises serious questions. Second, the Jackson family has faced similar claims before. Women have come forward alleging they were the biological mothers of Paris and Prince Jackson. Most of those stories followed a familiar pattern: emotional interviews, dramatic accusations, and eventual disappearance when no evidence materialized or when legal challenges failed. The family has long viewed these as money grabs, attempts to extract financial settlements or publicity by exploiting Michael's legendary name. Catherine Jackson, the family matriarch, has reportedly dismissed such claims in private as desperate attempts by people seeking a piece of the Jackson estate. With Michael's catalog and image still generating hundreds of millions of dollars years after his passing, the financial incentive for anyone to insert themselves into the family story is enormous. This brings us to the uncomfortable question of motive. If Ta'mar's story is true, she deserves sympathy as a mother separated from her child. But if it is not, then her actions represent a cruel exploitation of a family already scarred by loss and public scrutiny. Bigi Jackson has grown up without a mother figure in the public eye. Introducing a biological mother now, especially one making emotional demands, could cause significant psychological harm to a young man who has already lost his father. The impact on the Jackson legacy is also significant. Michael Jackson built his image as a single father who sacrificed everything for his children. Stories like Ta'mar's challenge that narrative. They suggest secrets, cover-ups, and hidden payments. Whether true or false, they feed the very tabloid machine Michael fought so hard against during his lifetime. Fan reactions have been fiercely divided. Hardcore supporters of Michael's privacy call Ta'mar an opportunist looking for relevance. Others, moved by her tears and detailed storytelling, wonder if there could be truth to her words. The debate has spilled across social media, forums, and even mainstream entertainment news, keeping the Jackson family in headlines for all the wrong reasons. At the center of this storm stands Bigi Jackson himself. Now a young adult, he faces a choice his siblings never had to confront in the same way. Does he seek the truth about his biological origins? Does he want a relationship with the woman claiming to be his mother? Or does he choose to honor the privacy and protection his father worked so hard to provide? The Jackson family's consistent strategy of silence and denial makes perfect sense from their perspective. Acknowledging every claim would open the floodgates to endless legal battles and emotional chaos. By maintaining a unified front, they protect not just the estate, but the memory of Michael as a devoted single father. Yet this wall of silence also leaves painful questions unanswered. If Kimberly Ta'mar is telling the truth, a mother has been denied her child for over 2 decades. If she is not, then a young man's peace of mind is being disturbed for personal gain. In the end, Chapter 4 of this story remains unwritten. Bigi Jackson holds the pen. Whether he chooses to investigate, confront, or continue living in the protective bubble his father created will define the next chapter of the Jackson family saga. One thing is certain, Michael Jackson's children will never escape the shadows of their father's extraordinary life, or the secrets that still surround it. The enduring controversy and the questions that remain. Why does Kimberly Ta'mar's claim still spark such fierce debate more than 20 years after Bigi Jackson's birth? The answer lies in the toxic mix of fame, money, secrecy, and unresolved grief that has always surrounded the Jackson family. Ta'mar's story refuses to die because it touches the deepest mystery Michael Jackson left behind, the true origins of his children. Michael was obsessively private about the surrogacy arrangements for Paris, Prince, and Bigi. He never publicly named the biological mothers, and he made it clear he wanted it to stay that way. This vacuum of information has created space for countless rumors, accusations, and opportunists over the years. There have been multiple women who claim to be the biological mothers of Michael's children. Some targeted Paris and Prince. Others focused on Bigi. Most followed a familiar pattern: dramatic interviews, emotional tears, vague evidence, and eventual disappearance when the claims went nowhere legally. The Jackson family has learned to treat these stories as opportunistic attempts to cash in on Michael's legendary name and estate. Katherine Jackson and other family members have reportedly referred to such claimants as people who just want money. This history makes it easy for many fans to dismiss Ta'mar's story as just another chapter in the same book. Yet the controversy continues because the stakes are enormous. Michael Jackson's estate is still worth hundreds of millions of dollars. His image, music catalog, and brand continue to generate massive revenue. Any successful claim of biological motherhood could potentially open the door to legal challenges over inheritance, visitation rights, or financial settlements. That financial reality makes every new claim suspect in the eyes of many observers. The potential impact on Michael Jackson's legacy is profound. Michael built his identity in later years as a devoted single father who sacrificed everything to give his children the love and protection he never had. Stories like Ta'mar's challenge that narrative. They suggest secrets, payments, and hidden mothers. Even if untrue, they feed the tabloid machine that Michael fought so hard against. They keep the focus on drama instead of his music and humanitarian work. Bigi Jackson's current life adds another layer of complexity. Now, in his early 20s, Bigi has chosen a remarkably private path compared to his siblings. While Paris has built a public career in music and modeling, and Prince has taken on more visible roles in estate matters, Bigi has stayed largely out of the spotlight. He reportedly focuses on personal interests, education, and staying close to the family. He has never publicly commented on Kimberly Ta'mar or any claims about his biological mother. Those close to him describe a thoughtful young man who values peace and privacy above fame. This silence raises the most haunting question of all. Does Bigi even know about Ta'mar's claims? Has the family shielded him from these stories, or has he chosen to ignore them? At his age, Bigi is old enough to seek answers if he wants them. Whether he ever decides to meet Ta'mar, demand DNA testing, or simply continue living the life his father tried to create for him remains one of the most private decisions in the Jackson family today. The broader message is clear. Michael Jackson's son is still surrounded by secrets and drama, even decades after his death. The man who gave the world so much joy through his music left behind a family forever caught between protecting his legacy and confronting uncomfortable truths. Every new claim like Ta'mar's forces the world to revisit the same painful questions. How well did we really know Michael? How much of his private life was hidden to protect his children? And how long can the family maintain this wall of silence? In the end, the controversy around Kimberly Ta'mar says as much about our fascination with celebrity secrets as it does about the facts themselves. Until concrete evidence emerges, or Bigi himself chooses to speak, these claims will continue to live in the gray area between truth and opportunism. Bigi Jackson stands at a crossroads. He can follow his father's path of privacy, or he can seek the full story of his origins. Whatever choice he makes, one thing is certain: the shadow of Michael Jackson's extraordinary life and the mysteries he left behind will continue to shape his journey for years to come. From Michael Jackson's closely guarded surrogacy secrets to the explosive claims made by Kimberly Ta'mar, the Jackson family has never been short on drama. Even after all these years, the mysteries surrounding Michael's children continue to captivate the world. So tell me, what do you believe? Do you think Kimberly Ta'mar is truly Bigi Jackson's biological mother, or is this just another story in a long line of attention-seeking claims? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear where you stand. If this video shocked you, moved you, or made you want to dive deeper into the hidden side of the Jackson family, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button right now, share it with your friends and fellow MJ fans, and subscribe to Black Legend. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next explosive story.